What is the difference between a democracy and a republic? Let's talk about it. The key difference between a democracy and a republic lies in the limits placed on government by the law, which has implications for minority rights. Both forms of government tend to use a representative government. Citizens vote to elect politicians to represent their interests and form the government. In a republic, a constitution or charter of rights protects certain inalienable rights that cannot be taken away by the government, even if it has been elected by a majority of voters. In a pure democracy, the majority is not restrained in this way and can impose its will on the minority. Most modern nations, including the US, are democratic republics with a constitution, which can be amended by a popularly elected government. This comparison therefore contrasts the form of government in most countries today with a theoretical construct of a pure democracy, mainly to highlight the features of a republic. So what is a democracy? A democracy is a form of government in which all eligible citizens have the right to equal participation, either directly or through the elected representatives, in the proposal, development, and creation of laws. To put it very simply, it is a form of government where people choose their own government and the voice of the majority rules. Once the majority is established, the minority has no say. So then what is a republic? The term republic as used today refers to a representative democracy with an elected head of state, such as a president, serving for a limited term. Even in a republic, it's the voice of the majority that rules through chosen representatives. However, there is a charter or constitution of basic rights that protects the minority from being completely unrepresented or overridden. So is a democracy and republic mutually exclusive? There are many who make this statement: the US is a republic, not a democracy. This makes it seem like a democracy and a republic are mutually exclusive. They usually aren't. Usually a republic is a type of representative democracy with some checks and balances enshrined in the constitution that safeguard the rights of minorities. Pure democracy would simply imply the rules of the majority in every sphere of life without such safeguards. So is the US a democracy or a republic? The US is a republic, though it is now common for people, including American politicians, to refer to the US as a democracy. This is a shorthand for the representative nature that exists, not for a pure democracy. While the founders disagreed regarding the role of the federal government, none sought to build a pure democracy. Americans directly elect council members, governors, state representatives, and senators, and numerous other officials. The president is indirectly elected via the Electoral College. The legislature and executive branches then appoint a variety of officials to their positions. For example, the president nominates a justice to the Supreme Court when the seat needs to be filled. The Senate then needs to confirm this nomination. So what are the implications to this? There are several political implications that arise from the US being a republic. Laws passed by the majority through their representatives in government can be challenged and overturned if they violate the Constitution. For example, Jim Crow laws mandating racial segregation were deemed unconstitutional and repealed. And in Brown v. Board of Education, the Supreme Court repealed state-sponsored school segregation. The 2010 healthcare reform bill, Obamacare, was challenged in the Supreme Court because it forces individuals to buy health insurance. The law was passed by a majority of Congress, but critics claimed that it violated individual liberties by forcing individuals to engage in commerce, a power that the government does not have in this republic. Ultimately, the court ruled the individual mandate was constitutional, but the states should not be required to expand Medicaid. If the US was not a republic, laws passed by the government elected by a majority could not be challenged. The Supreme Court and other courts can determine which laws are constitutional and has the power to uphold or overturn laws it judges to be unconstitutional. This demonstrates that the rule of law and the US Constitution are higher authorities than the will of the majority at any given time. So here are some quick comparisons between a democracy and a republic. In a democracy, the community of people are considered to hold power over how they are governed. Kings and tyrants are seen as threats to the innate rights of the people. As such, all eligible citizens get equal say in decisions. Republics are in opposition to rulership by a single person. Unalienable rights of individuals are protected by law to safeguard against the majority abusing the minority. Democracies are ruled by the majority. In a democracy, an individual and any group of individuals composing any minority have no protection against the power of the majority. A republic is similar to a representative democracy, except it has a written constitution of basic rights that protect the minority from being completely unrepresented or abused by the majority. In a democracy, generally freedom of religion is permitted, although a majority faction may limit religious freedom for a minority faction. In a republic, freedom of religion is also permitted, especially insofar as there is a constitutional prohibition on interfering with freedom of religion. In a democracy, private property is permitted, although a majority faction can place limits on property rights. In a republic, private property is also permitted, especially insofar as there is a constitutional prohibition on interfering with property rights. When it comes to discrimination, democracies, all citizens have an equal say and are so treated equally. However, this often allows the tyranny of the majority over the minority. In a republic, all citizens have an equal say and are so treated equally by the government. So to sum this all up, in a disadvantaged democracy, the majority can abuse the minority. In a republic, there is constant debate and oftentimes deadlocks. So what are your thoughts? Would you rather live in a democracy or a republic? If you like this video, hit that like button and consider subscribing. I talk about money and everything related to it, so don't miss out. And as always, take care of your money.